Hey, Michael. Obviously, Blazers 19 of 40 from three. What needed to be better defensively in that aspect?
Oh, a lot. I talked quite a bit about it during the week, Mike, how the number one concern was going to be can we guard the 3-point line? You look at the three regular season matchups and our two wins, I think they averaged 13 made threes. The one win, they made 18. And obviously tonight it went up to 19. So too many breakdowns. Like to win a playoff game, especially when you're undermanned, you have to be on point with everything. You have to have a great discipline with the game plan, great discipline in terms of guarding their personnel, and we didn't have it. I felt the two big runs in this game that were crucial. End of that first quarter, they closed on a 15-4 run. We gave up 35 points that quarter. You go to the third quarter, we got up to a pretty good start. We built like a 10-point lead, I think. They called a timeout. They closed the third quarter like on a 32-13 run. And the very end of that was an 8-0 run where Damian Lillard took over. And they scored 38 points in that quarter. Those two runs were so impactful. In the first half, the 3-point line was Anthony Simons and Carmelo Anthony. Those guys were terrific for them in that first half. So guys played hard, but we have to play a lot smarter.
Matt Moore, the Action Network.
Michael, can you talk a little bit about the decision to play Marcus Howard, what you thought he brought, the good and the bad, and then also if you see Shaq Harrison having a role later as the series goes on?
Yeah, it's Marcus Howard gives you offense and spacing and a shooting threat, and with the amount of guys that we have out, and we shot 30% from the 3-point line tonight. And they're going to shrink and crowd Michael. They're going to shrink and crowd Nikola. So Marcus is a guy that we know can put the ball in the basket. Regarding Shaq, obviously Shaq is a different type of a player. He can definitely make shots, but he is a defensive player. And, last time we played them, if you go back and watch the film, you'll see what they did when Shaq was in the game. I'm not going to do your work for you.
Mark Kisla, Denver Post.
You mentioned the run at the end of the third by Portland and Dame at the very end of that.
All right.
Yeah, Dame is obviously a great player. To what extent do you have to concentrate more of slowing them down, or do you just decide he's going to get his and we got to attack them a different way?
Well, it's funny because, I felt in the first half, we did a great job in their backcourt. I think both CJ and Dame were combined 8 of 22 at the half. The impact was off their bench and Simons and Carmelo, who really torched us. And then obviously, it's tough to keep Dame quiet for 4 quarters. And he got going. And, we're going to have to help Michael out because it's kind of what we saw in the playoffs last year. They started putting Michael in every pick and roll and trying to really, isolate and attack him. So obviously Michael has to be better, and we have to figure out ways where we can help him. But Dame is a tough one. It's if you cut the head off, does that allow CJ and Powell and Carmelo and Nurk and those guys to get off? We've done a good job on Dame in the past, but they put so much pressure on you with their guards, the amount of pick and rolls they play, the amount of dribble handoffs they're involved in. And again, I think the last thing I'll say in that case is just too many breakdowns in terms of guarding him. We let him walk into threes that he takes 8.5 pull-up threes a game on the season, and we let him walk into some of those tonight, and that was definitely not the game plan.
Brandon Cristal, KOA.
Yeah, Coach, when you talk about the effort was there, but the breakdowns, and you just touched on them again, does it give you any kind of comfort to know that that's correctable versus an effort thing, which I guess is also correctable? I guess what's the level of concern knowing that they're going to keep firing from 3?
Well, the concern is that we have 3 days to prepare for this. And after 3 days, there were still breakdowns. The hope was, with the whole play-in and allowing, us to have practices Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and just the amount of repetitions we had in trying to work on the game plan, implement the game plan, and then you go out in game 1 and you don't execute the game plan. So that's definitely disappointing. But yeah, your hope is correctable. I mean, I'm hoping that maybe once we see all the mistakes that we made tonight, we can be maybe, better off come Monday night for game 2. We gave ourselves a chance. We had some great moments, but when we were bad, we were really bad, and they exploited it, and they went on those 2 big runs that I talked about. And when you have the amount of guys down, it's tough. It's tough. So we really have to try to limit the amount of mental mistakes to give ourselves a chance against a potent offensive team.
Vinny Benedetto, Denver Gazette.
Hey, Michael's offensive game. He goes 11 for 11 inside the arc and 1 for 10 from 3. I guess on those kind of nights, would you like to see him attacking differently, or was it just an off shooting night for you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he's 1 for 10. To your point, I thought some of those were good looks. I thought some of those were rushed 4 shots at times. And obviously, we as a team only got to the foul line 8 times. We scored 52 in the paint. So, obviously you hope that we can try to get to the free throw line more, get some more calls to generate more free throws. But Michael's a shooter, he's a scorer. And as long as he's taking good shots, I'm comfortable with him, launching from 3. We're going to need that. We're definitely going to need him to. He still had 25 points and 9 boards, did some really good things for us. But obviously 1 for 10 and 11 for 36 as a team against a team that shot 48 from 3 is going to be really tough to win that game.
All right, Coach, we got time for one more. We're going to end with Alexander Zikic.
Coach, Portland, they know you. Is it harder then to prepare something that you can surprise them with and for them to surprise you with something? And is basketball really different during the playoffs? Are the games really different for you as the team?
Yeah, I mean, there were really no surprises tonight. That they did what they do, and we tried to do what we do. Obviously Nikola was fantastic, 34 and 15. We just need some more help around that. And playoff games, yeah, it's going to be a little bit slower of a game, a lot more physical of a game. Every possession matters. And when you have the breakdowns that we did tonight that lead to, like, the runs they went on tonight, the 3-point line was a huge part of those runs. We had moments where we did a really good job of guarding the right way. And then when we broke down, like, the 3-point line just, we just couldn't contain them. So it's a game of adjustments. We'll have to be a lot better than we were tonight to have a chance to even this series up going back to Portland after game 2. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.